It's time to write a research paper. You've thought about your topic and gathered many sources. How do you present those sources in your paper? In this tutorial, you'll learn how to effectively incorporate sources into your research paper. You'll learn how to structure your sources, include your own analysis, and use sources to support an argument. This tutorial focuses on how to incorporate sources into a research assignment at the college or university level. How will learning how to incorporate sources into your paper help you? Throughout history, all well-known figures have drawn ideas from those that come before them to formulate their own ideas. Isaac Newton famously said, "If I have seen further, it's only by standing on the shoulders of giants." All sorts of famous figures have used ideas that come before them to create their own original ideas, including activists, speakers, businessmen, and even artists. Building on sources makes your own ideas better. If nothing else, learning about how to incorporate sources into your research paper will help you get a better grade on your assignment. You can think of writing a research paper as presenting an argument or a point of view. Every scholarly research paper contains a thesis. All of the sources included in your paper must relate back to your thesis in some way. It's your job to use these sources to support your central thesis. It's often good to include sources that agree with your central thesis, as well as those that don't agree with your central thesis. Examining and addressing multiple sides of the argument often makes your own argument stronger. It can help to think about sources on a given topic as a conversation between people you haven't met. First, you listen to the conversation for a while. As you listen, you develop an understanding of the people participating in the conversation. You think about how the characteristics that you've observed might impact the arguments that the other people are making. After listening to the conversation, you jump in. When one person presents their ideas, you respond with your own thoughts. This is one of the main differences between scholarly research papers and other papers that you might have written in the past. It is not enough just to present sources. You also have to present your own ideas and responses in relation to those sources. Sometimes this is called presenting analysis. There are three primary ways to present ideas from another source in your research paper: direct quote, paraphrase, and summary. Remember, the differences between quoting and paraphrasing is like the difference between showing a clip from a movie and acting out the clip yourself to your audience. To show the movie clip is a direct quotation of the work itself, whereas acting out the clip is paraphrasing what you heard or saw in your own way or your own words. Likewise, a summary is like explaining the entire plot of the movie in your own words. Whether you present ideas from an outside source, there are three main components that you need to include. First, provide an introduction. The introduction is a way for you to set up the information that you'll be presenting from the outside source. Next, include the idea from the source as either a direct quote, paraphrase, or summary. Make sure to always properly cite ideas from outside sources. Finally, include an analysis of the ideas that you've presented. An analysis will include your response, interpretations, or arguments in relation to the idea from the outside source. Analysis is crucial for a good research paper. It's probably the most important step in this process, so don't forget it. Remember that ideas that you present from outside sources must always relate back to your central thesis in some way. Make sure that you clearly present how these outside ideas relate to your thesis in your analysis. Take a look at these examples. Notice that this example includes an introduction, a direct quote, and some analysis. Keep in mind that this is just a snippet of the analysis that would be necessary to include in a paper discussing this quote. Have more questions about incorporating sources? Always ask your instructor how many sources to use and the appropriate sources they may allow. If you have any more questions about how to incorporate your sources and avoiding plagiarism, contact your liaison librarian. They can help you with any questions you may have.